Hello, hello, hello. I am the Linux Mensch. In my last video, I went through an install of Arch Linux using the automated installer and profiles, and I gave you a tour of the Mate desktop environment and showed you how to change a few things in it. Since then, I've been playing with the Mate desktop environment and I've learned more about it. So today I'm going to start off from scratch. Now, I'm not going to go through an install of Arch Linux again. But I'm going to start off with a brand new install of Arch Linux and a brand new install of the Mate desktop environment. And I'm going to show you how to change it and configure it and what I learned about it. Now, a little bit of this is going to be a repeat, but hopefully not too much. So let's get to it. So right now, I'm in a brand new install of Arch Linux, not the same one from the last video, and a brand new install of the Mate desktop environment. And again, not the same one from the last video. So I haven't made any changes to it. This is the way it comes in Arch Linux. So the first thing I'm going to do is fix the resolution. And that's only because this is a virtual machine. If you're doing this on bare metal, you probably won't have to fix the resolution. Maybe. I'm going to go to System. So there's three menus here. 1, 2, 3. Some of this is a bit of a repeat from the last video. And of course, here's our clock and volume control. And at the bottom, you have 4 workspaces, and you can put more workspaces in, but we have 4 here at the bottom, okay? The bottom right. And like I said, there's 4 menus here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to System, and then I'm going to go to Control Center. I'm going to go to Display, and I'm going to click on 1360 by 768. And I'm going to apply it. And then I'm going to keep this configuration and I'm going to close it. Now I showed this in the last video, but I'm showing it again because I'm starting from scratch. I'm going to go to Applications and I'm going to go to Mate Terminal. I'm going to make it full screen and I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to Profiles, Profile Preferences, and I'm going to go to Use System Font. I'm going to unclick it. I'm going to change this to monospace bold and go down to this plus sign and click it up to, let's go to 16. And hit select. And then I'm going to go to colors, use colors from the system theme. I'm going to click it. And I'm going to go, let's do this one. I'm going to go here and I'm going to do Linux console. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to go white on black. Okay, this is good enough for now. And now what I'm going to do is close this and we're going to take a look at Htop. Sorry if some of this is repeat. So this is a fresh install of Arch Linux, not the same one from the last video. It's a brand new fresh install of the Mate desktop environment. And you can see we're running at 331 megabytes of RAM. I gave this 4 processors, 4 gigs of RAM and no swap. And we're running at 332 megabytes of RAM. And I'm going to close this. So next thing I'm going to do is click on the clock and I'm going to go to Locations. I'm going to edit and I'm going to add Toronto, Canada. And I'm going to OK it. And then I'm going to go to Weather and I'm going to keep it at C. You can change this to Fahrenheit. I'm going to keep it at Celsius. And I'm going to change the wind speed to kilometers. And I'm going to go to General. I'm going to change the time from 24-hour format to 12-hour format. And I'm going to show seconds. So I'm going to click that on. And now I'm going to close it. Now we have the weather here. And let me move my face. So now we see that it's 1832 Eastern Standard Time. And here we have 6:32 with seconds and PM. And if I hover over here, it brings the weather. So it's going to tell you it's broken clouds. It's 2 degrees Celsius. Feels like minus 1.9 Celsius. The winds are from the west at 14.8 kilometers per hour. Sunrise is at 7:44 and sunset is at 4:39. Now, how do I get... Now, this part here I already showed in my last video, but how do I get the weather to be up here as an icon? That part I didn't show in the last video. So what I'm going to do is go to here where it says set, and it's asking for my password. So I'm going to put my, not my user password in, I'm going to put my root password in. I'm going to hit enter. And I'm going to, it says the clock has quit unexpectedly. Now this part I didn't show in the last video. So clock has quit unexpectedly. Delete. Don't reload or reload. So I want to reload it. There we are. So now my clock is correct. My date is Wednesday, December 18th, 6:34 and 16 seconds p.m. And you can see it's cloudy and it's 2 degrees Celsius. If I hover over it, it's going to tell you it's broken clouds. 2 degrees feels like minus 1.9 Celsius. The winds are at 14.8 kilometers from the west. Sunrise is at 7:44, sunset at 4:39. So in my last video, I showed, if you hover here, I showed how the weather was here. I didn't realize that you can actually, let's turn that off. So to turn all this off, you got to click it again. I didn't realize that you can actually put the weather up on the bar so that it's there permanently. And I like that. I like the fact that I can always see that it's cloudy and it's 2 degrees Celsius. And if I need to know the winds, you just hover over it and there's the winds. And it tells you what it feels like. I think this is fantastic. One thing I didn't show in my video before is that there's 2 bars. And I think that's using up a lot of real estate. Now this icon here minimizes things. So for instance, let's say we have our app opened up and let's open up Firefox. Let's open up Firefox. So we're going to have 2 things open, my file manager and Firefox, right? This is the first time I'm opening up Firefox for this install of Arch Linux. And I haven't done anything to Firefox as far as configuring it to the way I like it to be, hardened, changing all the settings to make sure that it's hardened and everything, because this is a brand new install. Anyways, this is not about Firefox. So I have 2 apps open up right now, right? I have my file manager here and Firefox here. So this little icon here will minimize everything. Okay. Click it again and it opens up my apps. Okay. And then here we have our 4 workspaces. So I don't want to get rid of those, but I don't like having 2 bars, a bar on the top and a bar on the bottom, because it's using up too much real estate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this bottom bar. I'm just going to right click it on and delete this panel. Click it. You want to delete this panel? Yes. Okay, that panel is gone, but I like the things that were on there. So now I'm going to go up to the top panel. And by the way, this part I did not show in my last video. Okay, so now I want to get those workspaces up there on the top panel. So I'm going to right click this, add to panel, and I'm going to go down to the bottom. And it's workspacer switcher. That's the one I want. And I'm going to click on add. There they are. And now I want to get the other one. I like the minimizer as well. So if you have a bunch of programs opened, you click on the icon and it minimizes everything and brings you back to your desktop. So what I'm going to do is scan up and look for it. Here it is here. It's called Show Desktop. I'm going to highlight it and add it to the panel. And I'm going to close it. So now I have I got rid of the bottom bar and I got the minimizer and the 4 workspaces up here. Okay, so let's say we open up Firefox again, or let's open up Htop, and let's open up Firefox. Okay, and so we have Firefox and Htop open up. So if you click on the minimizer, it minimizes all the apps. If you click it on again, it brings them back. So let's close that, and let's close that. We have the minimizer there, and we have our workspaces there now. I don't like the minimizer and the workspaces to be in the middle like that. Actually, it's not bad to tell you the truth. If you want to move them, so I'm going to right click on the minimizer and I'm going to click on move. And look at this. I can move it. Let's say I want to move it here. Okay. And let's say I want to move the workspaces too. So I'm going to right click them on. I'm going to click on move. And I can move them to wherever I want. I think I'm just going to move them around here. And I think I'm going to move this. Let's right click that and let's move it to there. And you know what? I'm going to move them a bit more. Can I right click them? Let's move it to there. And right click it again, and I'm going to lock it to the panel so it doesn't move. And I'm going to move this one, right click it, move, and I'm going to move it there. And I'm going to right click it and lock the panel. So now they're locked and they're not going to move. I have everything up there, and I got rid of the bottom bar, and I have more real estate now. Let's say I want to pin an icon to my desktop. I could do this. And of course, you can do this in any full-fledged desktop environment. You can't do this with window managers. So let's say I want Firefox to be on my desktop, pinned. Right click it, add to desktop. There it is. Okay. Double click it, and there's Firefox. Let's close it. And I like too, the fact that you can see I have 4 workspaces here, right? You can see something is opened on workspace 2, and you can see it's Firefox. Okay, so let's close it. Now let's say I want Firefox pinned on the panel. I could go here, go to Internet, go to Firefox, right click it, add launcher to panel. So now it's on the panel. Okay, get rid of that. So if I want to open Firefox, I can click it on here. I can open it. It's showing it's on workspace 2. I can close it, or I can open it from here. Now you can do that with any desktop environment. You can't do that with window managers, and I didn't show this in my last video. Now, some people don't like their icons to be on the desktop. They like to have a clean desktop because they're going to have some different type of wallpaper, or maybe a picture of your pet, or a picture of your spouse, or your children, or whatever, and they don't like icons to be there. Now, of course, there's not an issue with window managers because you can't have things pinned to your desktop in most window managers. And most desktop environments make it really easy to get rid of the icons from your desktop. You just right click it and move them or hide it. Usually somewhere in the menu here, there's a thing that says hide desktop icons. You don't have any icons on your desktop, and you can have your favorite picture or wallpaper there. Now with Mate, you can't do that so easy. Now, of course, you can change your desktop background. You can click this on, and it brings up all these wallpapers. And I showed this before in my last video. And in my last video, I clicked on this one. That's kind of nice. Yeah, I kind of like that, actually. I really do like that. Let's close it. Let's keep that. I like that. I like that. Okay, so now let's say you want to get rid of your icons. You don't want to have icons here. So how are you going to do that? Well, you're going to do this. We're going to open up Firefox, and we're going to go to archlinux.org. And of course, I haven't configured my Firefox the way I'd like it to be, or hardened it, or gone into the settings, or changed anything in settings, because that's not what this video is about. And like I said, this is a brand new install of Arch Linux and a brand new install of the Mate desktop environment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the wiki, and I'm going to make this a little larger. And in the wiki, I'm going to type in Mate. And this is going to come up, and I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to go down. I think it's in tips and tricks. Here it is. So it's in tips and tricks, and it's number 4.5.1. Okay. And it's called hide all desktop icons. So I'm going to highlight this line. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to copy. And let's just go to another workspace. Let's go to this one. And let's go to my terminal. Let's go to the Mate terminal. And make it full screen. And I'm going to paste that in. I don't know if I need sudo. We'll find out in a second. I don't remember now. And let's go back to an empty workspace. And there it is. The icons are gone. Now let's say you want to bring the icons back. You decide down the road, you know what? I like having icons on my desktop. Well, then you could do this. And I'm going to bring that up again. And I'm going to just erase false and type in true. I'm going to hit it. Now I'm going to go to another workspace. And the icons are back. So that's all you have to do to get rid of your icons, or to bring them back on your desktop environment, that is, or on your desktop, right? And now what else am I going to do? I just want to do a few more things, and then I'm going to close the video. I'm not going to change the themes because I showed you how to do that in my last video. I really like the fact that I have, and you know what? I'm going to change the font. So I'm going to go into System. I'm going to go into Preferences, Look and Feel. I'm going to go into Appearance. I'm going to go into Fonts, and I'm going to just change the font to bold. Sans bold. And I'm going to kick it up to 12. I like large font. So I really like the fact that the temperature is up here like that. I think that's fantastic. And now I'm going to just show something else really fast. It's something I showed in my last video, but I'm going to show it again. I don't remember if I showed, I think I did, yeah. I'm going to go to Control Center and make it full screen. I'm going to go to Power Manager. And yeah, I showed this in my last video, but I'll show it again. I'm going to say never. I'm going to change that to never because I don't like things going off. And when power button is pressed, shut down. When the suspend button is pressed, do nothing. And I'm going to go back to Firefox. And if you don't want to use a display manager, I'm going to type this in my XNRC file. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's go back to here and let's type in vim period XNRC. And let's just type in exec mate dash session. Let's save the file. And let's do sudo, let's just clear the screen. Let's do sudo system control disable light DM. Oh, I gotta put my password in. And let's close the terminal. And let's close that. And I'm gonna bring back the original wallpaper because I like that. And let's close it. And what's in here? Oh, I got this opened up. Let's close that. And what I'm gonna do is reboot. I'm gonna go to System. I could do this in the terminal, but I'm going to do it this way. Notice how it gives you a countdown. So I am going to restart and reboot into the system, do an Htop, and finish the video. And now Light DM has been turned off, so it's going to take me to the TTY. And I'm going to put my name in, Mensch. My password in is, and I'm going to type in StartX. Let's see if it brings us into, there it is. And also, let's just see if the lock screen works. Lock screen, I think I showed this in my last video, and there it is. We're locked out. Look at that. It's got the clock there, everything, and you can leave a message. So let's say, and I don't remember if I did this in my last video or not, you could leave a message. I needed to use your computer, but it was locked. And let's save it. And now, when you come back to your computer, you're going to find out that your buddy tried to get into your computer. Right? So I'm going to put my password in and I'm going to unlock it. And there it is. I needed to use your computer, but it was locked. Well, you should have signed it, right? If you're going to do that, you should sign it. So if someone needed to use their computer, they can leave you a message. Oh, and they see it was locked. They can leave you a message and you get it. And that is more mate. In this video, I showed you more mate. And I started from scratch with a brand new install of Arch Linux without going through the install like I did the last video. And I started with a brand new install of the Mate desktop environment. And I repeated a few things, but I showed a lot of new and different things. I showed how to get rid of the bottom panel because I didn't like two panels. I showed how to put the things that were on the bottom panel on the top panel. I showed how to move the weather icon to pin it to the top panel. I showed how to get rid of the desktop icons and how to bring them back. And I showed how to pin an icon for an app to the desktop or to your top panel. And I tried not to repeat too much from my last video. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with the Mate desktop environment, and I'm impressed that it runs on such low RAM. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I am the Linux Mensch.